one's on, right? Hello, YouTube people. This is me, the pedal dude, Henning at Warwick yet again. And yesterday I ran into Phil X. I mean, what a work where you just run into Phil X. And Phil X is like, you know this dude? And we're looking at him like, God, I feel embarrassed, but no, I don't. He's like, that's one. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he is. And I don't even know how to say your name. Alderete?
Hey, you know, that's a good try. Alderete.
With a Alderete.
Yeah, it's Spanish, okay. So Alderete.
Juan?
Yes. Juan Alderete
Juan
de la Pena.
Alderete. Oh, that's a lot of stuff to write.
Oh, you know, Latinos, we like to keep adding and adding. Ask Marco what his name is. Marco will tell you. Marco Mendoza, there's something.
Well, and then Phil was like, hey, this dude's got about every pedal on the planet. So I said, I don't know who he is, but if he's got pedals, he's got to be right here.
Yes, I do have a lot.
So they kicked us out of our room, but we found a nice spot here, right?
I'm into this. I don't want to be in a room. I get to look at the trees out there, so I'm cool. It's awesome.
Juan actually played for. He's a bass player, so why are we even talking to him? But he played for Racer X.
Yes.
So you know, anyone who's in the room with Paul Gilbert is a good guy in my book.
Thank you.
And then he played for the Mars Volta.
Yes.
Which is just crazy shit. But even though I never was into that music, just I gotta give you like my highest respect. I mean, the stuff you guys did, like live recordings at Abbey Road. I mean, you were like, that was, I said Letterman. Was it Letterman?
Yeah, Letterman.
One of those late night shows, and to get with music that's, excuse my French, a little bit out there, you know? I mean, not that's not pop.
Right.
You're not like middle of the road kind of, you're not Travis Tritt or something, you're not doing country, okay?
No.
And just like to be on those shows, I mean, that must be amazing.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people don't realize is that it's about 40 degrees, so I don't know what that is in Celsius. Like 10? Or
cold.
Cold. It's really cold. In the Letterman studio, they kept it that cold for a lot of reasons, for the lights, keep people, you know, awake. But so you're a musician and you get in and you're like, oh.
And it's live. It's not coming
freezing cold. And I'm looking over at Will Lee and I'm just going, they aren't kidding. It's freezing cold.
and the stuff you guys played wasn't just like, hey, you do the A string on eighth notes. I mean, it was a little bit busy, right?
Right, for sure.
So again, my highest respect for those achievements. But we had to talk about pedals.
Yes.
Because yesterday, about 3 seconds after we were introduced, we started to geek out about stuff.
Yes.
If I'm correct, after this whole shindig shenanigans here, you're going to tour Germany on a workshop tour for Earthquaker.
Earthquaker devices, yes. I am.
You actually have, oh man, I'm jealous.
Yes. And so they, I usually travel with these 2 pedal boards with road cases, and it's just me. So they were nice enough to pare down to like a best of for me. And so I have this one pedal board with me, and it has every cool pedal that I can really do some wild stuff with.
Let me interject there. Is that a salvage custom shop board?
No, those are the ones that are at home.
Because they are pretty.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Salvage custom shop, they're pretty.
Yeah.
I might want to possibly have something like this to test. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because that's nice stuff that they do.
He's an artist. He's awesome. And now this one is it's aluminum, so it's a different manufacturer, and so it's just so we wanted to make sure. Well, what's happening is I'm traveling so much with these boards, and so you know they're so heavy that the airlines charge you overages, and so you have 2 of them. So we pared it down to 1 board, and it's under 50 pounds. So that's going to save us a lot of money. So I flew over here and I didn't have to pay any overages, which is awesome. And I can still do my job. So yeah, I'm going to drive on Sunday. We're driving to Berlin. I'm going to hook up with Alec Empire from Atari Teenage Riot and hang out with him. And then on Monday, I'm hitting some stores in Berlin and showing them the pedals and just getting them excited about Earthquaker, the best pedal company in the world right now. And then I'm going to go.
That's a pretty big statement from someone who lives and sleeps in his house with pedals.
Well, I'm
There's
telling
no
you.
wallpaper in there, right? That is
No, those are
pedals.
all like legit pedals. They just make the most interesting stuff. I
That
mean,
is true. They go out there.
I mean, I have guys come up to the guitar players, everybody, and they go, "Man, you're so lucky you get to do clinics for them." They go because they do so much cool stuff that it's easy to do. Like, imagine if you just had a company that only made overdrives and distortions. I mean, that'd be boring.
Well, you need those, but it's boring.
So boring. Like you'd be like burned out in 15 minutes. Like I'm out of riffs. Now what? You know.
For me, I'd love to do some Earthquake demos, but I'm also kind of scared because I know in my demos I put them in a track.
Right.
I put them in a pop rock, in a metal track or whatever. So I call up something I've produced, strip it off the guitars, and maybe completely create new guitar parts. But if it's an overdrive, I know what I'm doing, and I can demo that with 3 or 4 guitars. And if it's a distortion, a delay, I can come up with stuff. But a lot of the Earthquake stuff, I'm like, okay, this is a bit crusher, pitch shifter, reverse time machine thing. I'm like, how do I create a track with 3 or 4 guitars, different setting on the pedal, and make that work? But it's a challenge. I'm a little bit scared of that, but it would be way cool to accept that challenge.
I think because what I did is I started taking a different approach to my videos and then my clinics.
Which, by the way, we forgot to say that he does awesome videos.
Yeah, I have a website called pedalsandeffects.com.
We got to plug that. I mean, we here on my channel, which of course is the best channel out there, but pedalsandeffects.com.
And it's like, it started out for bass players because I was just, I was watching YouTubes and I wanted, I'm a pedal geek, so I'd look at all the YouTubes and it's just a million bad blues riff playing guitar players playing bad blues riffs, and I was sick of it. I didn't want to.
There's almost nothing for bassists.
Yeah, there's no bass players.
Paul said that said there's almost no good demos from bass players for bass players.
Right. And so I just decided to make my own channel, and I was just like, I think Mars Volta was on tour in Europe or something, and I was bored at backstage, and I go, I wonder if pedalsandeffects.com is available, and it was. So I bought it right there, awesome. And then I went, cool. And then now I'm getting out of it being bass centric, and I'm making it like I've had guitar players like my friend Nick Reinhardt, who plays in a band called Terra Mellows. He's been helping me. I've had a couple other guitar players, Dan Elkin, who played in Broken Bells. So I'm getting more guys. I'm getting synth guys like Alessandro Cortini from Nine Inch Nails is going to do some stuff with me. Joey Karam from The Locust is going to do some with me. So I'm bringing in like keyboard, guitar. I'm going to do drums. I throw pedals through drum machines and do videos because that's what it's about. It's not about just your instrument. It's about inspiring the musician in you. Yeah. And so when you think about the Earthquaker stuff, it's like you're really going to benefit if you think about it as I'm sitting with these pedals and I just want to be inspired. I was a couple days ago, I was with Dean from Queens of the Stone Age, and he goes, I don't know, there's so many pedals. He goes, I just want to be inspired. I'm like, exactly. That's the core of all of this, is you want to hit something and be inspired. Yeah. If you're not inspired, you're not going to use it.
And you can tell in the video. When people watch me or I watch you guys do stuff, and the guitar player isn't playing too much. Or let me say, can stop himself playing.
Right.
Then he's not inspired. And when I hit a pedal and it could be an overdrive, it could be a delay, and it inspires, the video gets longer because I don't stop, and new shit comes out. And if something comes out of your fingers that you've never done before, then it's a pedal.
I mean, the same thing in my clinics. I don't ever work up anything in my clinics. I go there, I don't have settings, I have nothing. I just go there, everything's a mess. I just make sure the levels are not too loud, and then I start playing, and at some point I'm going to hit a zone or a part or something that's just going to be obviously inspired by the pedal and what I'm doing, and then everybody in the audience knows it. When somebody's like in the zone.
Yes, absolutely.
And so
you can't fake that.
Yeah.
There's no people can pay you or not pay you, but if the pedal doesn't deliver, you cannot fake getting into that world. And I've done TC Electronic Dark Matter. They're throwing these analog drives out, $49 for dark matter. So I bought that to kind of show TC what I can do. Did a demo, and in the demo I'm just like smiling, like giddy, and like, what the fuck? I'm having fun, and I'm not gonna do that because someone gives me money. I'm doing this because I'm having fun. And sometimes you fight with the pedal, and that's okay. Maybe then you find its purpose. Maybe you never. But a pedal that inspires you, that's the greatest thing.
Yeah.
On your tour, you're going to show the Earthquaker stuff primarily for bass, or I mean.
No, I mean it's just like because if they have every store has a guitar player, so I'm gonna let the guitar players play through them. I'll play through them if they need help getting through the pedal because some of them are pretty wild and you have to kind of have an idea of how to wrangle it in. So I'll do that, but it's really just to get the stores excited because, like you said, every territory is different. And in the States, they're the biggest boutique pedal building company right now. When I met them, it was just one guy at Earthquaker, Jamie, building them in his basement. And now they have like 100 employees. They have a huge building.
100 employees?
Yeah, and a building that's like, I think it's 15,000 square foot. It was his basement, and now it's 15,000.
How can they be so big, Earthquaker devices, and have 100 people, and I don't have a single Earthquaker pedal? How can that be?
Yeah, well,
there's something wrong about this.
You have not written Julie. She's the...
Actually, Julie, I'm sorry I'm bitching about you not sending me pedals, but I haven't written you. Brett Kingman got me your number, and my schedule of demos is so big that if I go and approach a new company, I want to do a good job for them. Right. I don't want them to send me 3-4 pedals, and then I kind of push them in between. If I'm going to start doing stuff for Earthquaker, I like to do series. I don't like to do 1 or 2 pedals. 5 to 10, I do a whole series so people on my channel can get a broad range of what's possible.
So 5 of the same company or 5 like distortion?
Same company. Same company.
Okay.
I just did 7 or 8 for Carl Martin, and then it's also production-wise it's easier. I already have the logo, I've got the intro and everything ready, and I'm in the zone. I know, okay, I mentioned the website now, and all these things stay the same. So it's a little bit more. There's a line going through those demos. They all feel similar, and I like to do this. It's a little bit less work, and it looks more cohesive.
Right. No, I can see that. I mean, you could definitely with Earthquaker. I mean, you could do an overdrive because they make great overdrives, and then do a fuzz or two, and then do a delay. I mean, and then
show a range of what they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, I like to just get their stuff and just go crazy and just try to show extremes. I usually just dime the knobs and let it go crazy and then wrangle it in and then just kind of start playing something that I think is musical. And same thing with my videos. I never work up riffs or bass lines or whatever in my videos. I
do that for my produced track, but when I'm sitting there just playing, I just play in either it inspires or it doesn't. Right. And that's, people can tell.
Right.
People can tell if you're having fun or not. You cannot fake that. No. Earthquaker, I've seen Mike Hermans, who's brilliant, by the way. Mike, you will never see this interview, but if Mike Hermans, if you see this, you're freaking brilliant. From Primax Vintage.
Okay.
He's demoing everything, and they have this delay, different sizes. There's a big one and a smaller one. It's gray. What is it called?
Oh, you mean Earthquaker?
Yeah.
Oh, Disaster Transport
Disaster Transport.
And then the Disaster Transport.
Yeah, I've seen him demo the big one, and there's analog delays out there up the wazoo. I mean, it's pretty much like
Well, that's a digital delay.
But
it has it has like the.
It's
the
an analog style.
Right.
Delay.
It has that tone knob which gets at that tape. Emulation, the tape.
But that was just soundscapey. It was it was definitely not your typical. I need something to fatten my solo thing, for which you go somewhere else.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah,
I would define Earthquaker as a company that goes in. Yeah, inspires. That's the only. They go a little bit differently. They force you to think differently about your lick, your whatever. For me, Strymon is a company that does something like this. Strymon goes, you have the typical analog delay, you've got the digital whatever, and then you've got delays like the filter delay, where you have the low pass filter on the delays, or the tremolo delay, or the ice where you have pitch on it, and you play completely different things with those. And I find myself playing, things that I would have never played without that sound. So for me, when I want to get a little bit creative, Strymon are the pedals that for me are the most, are asking the most of me to do new things.
I mean, they make really good stuff. I have the El Capistan. I love that one. They sent me the Lex the Lex simulator. What is it? Leslie simulator.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Really?
Yeah, it's you know, I mean, I A beat it with. Have you ever seen the Korg? Korg made a big, giant Leslie simulator. That thing smoked it. We A beat it. Money Mark, who played keyboards in the Beastie Boys. We A beat those, and that Korg smoked it.
Who said that? Phil X said the same thing. He tried the Lex, and I've got almost every Strymon pedal because I did translations for them.
Right.
I don't have a Lex, and I simply assumed it's awesome. But now I've got two people independently saying, it's so.
It's all right. I mean, it's fine. It's just
used,
not. It's not spectacular. They are spectacular.
I use the rotary on the Mobius, and I use that hardcore, and I love it.
Right,
so you're saying there's better ones out there?
That Korg one's awesome,
Okay.
but I don't think they make it anymore. But you'd have to find it on eBay or
That's
something.
just great. Get me all excited, and then you cannot get it. Nah, 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 nah. I have one.
Welcome to the pedal world.
Yeah,
You never know when they're going to stop making things. You got to get them when they're hot, you know. That's why I always tell people about there's a pedal probably you don't know about that because guitar players never know about it, but it's called the DOD Meatbox. And so basically, have you heard about it?
Georg Frisch from Base the World.
Huh?
Georg Frisch? Yeah, that's his name, right? From
no.
Base the World. He's probably done a video with you. He's like one of the biggest guys on YouTube when it comes to bass. He said, ask him about the DOD Meatbox.
Oh, right.
He said, if you ask him one thing, ask him that, and I would have totally forgotten, so thank you.
Okay, well, yeah, it's this basically kind of all went back to the Beastie Boys, but Mario Caldato Jr. Mixed the Beastie Boys records, but he also mixed them live, and he would use this thing called the DBX boombox, and it was this wood box effect that was for home stereos, and it was a subharmonic synthesizer. So you throw anything that has any kind of low end, and it enhances it like an 808. Like you know, you're just that subby. And so he goes, use this. So I've got one, bought it, blow up heads, blow up speakers. I was just grinding.
That's what Gregor said. Gregor said this thing kills whole systems.
Yeah, and then so then at the time I was really good friends with Tim from Rage Against the Machine. And he's like, well, I'll just get my sound man to do it. So he had his sound man use it at the soundboard. So that's the way to do it if you're going to use the real boombox. And then Joe Barisi is a friend of ours, and he was working with Rage, and he was like, oh, what are you using? And he goes, oh, it's a DBX boombox. So then DOD asked him, like, hey, we're making pedals. What do you want to see us make, Joe? And Joe Barisi goes, oh, make this DOD boombox in a pedal. And that's the Meatbox. Cut to years later, I didn't know they did make one. And my friend Jonathan Hitchke was on tour with Mars Volta. He was in a band called Hella. And he hit this pedal, and I go, that sounds like a Meatbox. And so, I'm not the Meatbox. It sounds like a boombox. Sure enough, it was the Meatbox. And so, long story short, that was the one.
Continue talking because if I remember correctly, I saw Distortion M85. The gonk is back.
The gonkulator is back. Yeah.
Wait, I saw it. Isn't that it? We'll meet again.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
So they're making it again.
Right.
They're making it again.
Yeah. I just did an interview with with Tom. Excuse me. Tom Cram from Digitech was at my studio, and he went over everything. He went over the gonkulator, the Meatbox, they're bringing back a bunch of the old DODs because they were way ahead of their time. But Joe Barisi, the producer, engineer, he's definitely was the guy behind all those builds. He was the one. He gave them a whole list. This is what you should build. This is how you should wire it, configure it. Yeah. So, but the Meatbox, when I first started buying them, they the original ones. $40, $50 on Craigslist, and then
240 this one.
Well, no, check this out. So before they reissued it, I would do interviews and I'd say, yeah, there's this pedal I use called the DOD Meatbox. I think I said in Premier Guitar, and I go, that just blows PA systems up. Kids heard that and they went, I'm buying that pedal. And then
good idea, kids.
Yeah. And then the price went up to like $300, $400 for them. So then I told DOD, you should reissue this. So, but that chip doesn't exist. So they found 3,000 chips, and then they're gone. So they only
this is limited edition?
Yeah, after they sell that 3,001, it's done. They don't have any more chips.
So how do I get my hands on one?
Just you gotta write to Tom Cram at DOD, Digitech.
Hey Tom, wait, aren't we sitting in a distribution center for Digitech?
Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm sure they have Tom.
Who do I have to beat up here to get one?
Yeah, they're making really great stuff.
Okay, if you guys can see this, Rex Brown from Pantera is there making faces.
Yes. No,
Rex, do that in front of the camera. Come on, here, come.
Yeah, what's up, Rex?
What's that?
Talking to more bass players now. Only guitar player on the couch. That's just wrong, huh?
Yeah,
We're talking about pedals
This
for
is what it's
bass.
all about. It's bass game.
Pedals for bass. Go.
Oh,
Rex is a distortion, right?
man.
Or just
I've got
cable
some-
head done.
I've got new stuff. And I haven't decided which to use. The Dunlop stuff's really good.
Yes.
The bass distortion's killer. The new Ampeg SCR1.
Right. Yeah, the
SCH
DI,
or
right. Scuzzy as they call
The
it.
DI
It's just, they're the bigger one, right?
incredible.
Yeah.
And then I'm using the Tech 21 DT rack. It used to be in a stomp box, and now it's in a rack, and it's just incredible. Just, they're stomp boxes or stomp boxes, but real tones are real tones.
This dude. I saw Billy a couple days ago. We were talking about you, and he goes, man, Rex's tone is awesome. And I was like,
We had dinner. We just pulled up on Billy last night. He just got in, and he was. I can't say enough about the man.
yeah, he's
Such a
awesome.
gentleman.
Yes, right?
Oh, he was
Super cool.
He was going. He told. I'm still my side the stories he was telling me last night.
No,
I can't get into it on camera. It was good.
Dating the
Okay, well, I guess we just have to take your word for it. Done.
Awesome.
Old Van Halen stories.
Ah.
Tallis on the road with Van Halen.
Women and Children First tour.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw that tour.
Absolutely.
We had fun with him this morning. We talked for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
He's awesome.
very cool. And we had coffee talk.
No.
Coffee talk, you know. We had some coffee. I like it relaxing.
He's taught me a lot of things, and I've only known Billy for a short amount of time. I've known him for years, but not really well. And he's taught me a lot about how you can get that. You know, with Billy, it's a lot of that mid, and the way
Yeah.
he compresses it,
Right,
and the
right.
way that he uses that to form his tone of what he does with those harmonics and everything else. And the way he's describing his new technique, he has got a 4-finger like harmonic. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, he's coming to the room tonight. We're fixing my computers. I'm like, Billy Sheehan.
Actually,
I'm pinching myself.
I got a thing that I always wanted to have because you always see him with like these big refrigerator racks, and then you know maybe smaller setups, and you
Now
always
he's independent.
you always think you need all this stuff. But then here you just plugged into an amp, and all he did is compression all the way up, and there's Billy Sheehan's sound. But I got something even better. We tracked him directly amp out into this little Tascam piece of shit thing. I hope it tracked it. And at home, I can actually look at Billy Sheehan's sound just like it comes out of the bass. And for me, that's going to be like Christmas.
Wow.
I want to know what comes out directly out of his fingers and how much is that Billy Sheehan. And I think it's right there. I think
I
it
know
will
what
be
it
Billy.
is that old EVO pickup in that front.
Yeah,
I
right.
guarantee it.
Right,
I
right,
guarantee
right.
it. That's where you get. And I'm stealing your interview after you got
If anyone can steal the interview, it's you.
Okay. Hey, thanks for bringing that to it, right? Fuck yeah.
So now we don't have to talk to him anymore. We're done.
But anyway, Meatbox. To finish
Back
it
to
all
Meatbox.
up. To finish it all up. So now they reissued it. So there's only 3,000 of them. You got to get them now. And yes, hit Tom. If Tom's, I didn't know Warwick.
Warwick is doing Digitech, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing all this, because I wanna look hip and cool, so they work with me.
Right.
And if you're into Warwick, then you get MXR's here,
Right.
Moore is here, Exotic is here, and Digitech. And if you have a pedal channel and you don't have MXR and Exotic and Digitech,
Right.
there's something missing.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're missing some serious clicks right there. So,
Totally.
so either I need to go to the source, which means I need to go and approach the companies themselves, and it's always feels like begging to me. I mean, I got something to offer on the channel, but writing the email, hey, could you, feels like begging. It's nice if they say, hey, we like what you do here,
Right.
which I like that.
Right.
So, Meatbox, definitely something to.
Yeah, Tom told me in the interview I did with him, he just said, he goes, the reason we reissued it was because of me. And, really, it's just because I heard avoid, like I saw all this, like there's nothing worse than going on after electronic artist when you're a rock band, because if it's hip hop or electronic
They
or pop,
have the low end cover.
they sound this big, and then the rock band comes on, it's like this, and I was just, for Mars Volta, I was like, no, forget that. I'm hitting the Meatbox and we're coming in like that. And I'm telling you, the last real big stadium thing we did was with Muse in Australia. And Chris's tech was like, Chris from Muse, the tech was like, Chris wants to know what that pedal is. What is it that's vibrating everything? He was at the soundboard and he was like, well, my chest hurts. And that was the Meatbox, man. It's just thunder. Nothing gets you more low end than that.
If I used that going DI in the studio, would I be endangering my gear?
Only if you did it for like longer than like 3 minutes or something. I've fried speakers, but you just can't hammer it that hard.
Okay.
The PA you can't because they're made to hammer it. But like 210 cabinet, I smoke that.
It's probably difficult to demo then.
It is.
How do you capture that?
Yeah, it's almost something that I recommend you go get. Like I saw Digitech at Summer NAMM and they had headphones. I'm like, you're gonna blow those headphones up with that pedal for sure. I was like, that's not the way to demo this. They should have just had it on a stage and then like a looped bass line and then pedal going on and off, and you could hear it. That I would definitely do. I'll recommend that for NAMM next time. Like just have a loop going and have it just be like clean bass line, and then you hit the pedal, and then all of a sudden the effect is on, and you'll hear the dramatic.
I do that sometimes now. I use a looper Ditto TC, and instead of me playing twisting, I just have a loop going, some single notes and some riffing, and show all the different settings. It really gets you a better feel for what's going on in the pedal.
Right.
Or of course, if you're playing and you have someone else there. But I'm not very popular, no one likes me, I got no friends, so I got no one that can do that, really.
Hey, I was going to ask you, so on your site, do you do vintage pedals ever?
If I got them, hell yeah.
Which ones have you demoed? Like what vintage, like what like, how do you say, like, the real desired one, the one that everybody...
Well, I don't have access to an actual old one. How do you get them? You'd have to hunt them down, eBay or whatever, then you got to pay for them, and I would do that for a demo or something. But I was never into fuzz. Not because I don't like it, because I just never dealt with it, ever. 23 years of playing guitar, never dealt with the fuzz. And then I got one from China, and I didn't know what GE and SI meant. I had no idea. So I went and did the demo and said, I don't know what G and SI means, but that was cool because I just changed and described the sound. So like a total naive idiot, I described what I heard, which probably wasn't a bad approach.
Right, no, not at all.
And
because a lot of kids don't really know or even care.
And then I went in and said, okay, I don't know. And then the people were really kind and comment and said, okay, it means this and this and this, and it means germanium, silicone, and that's the difference. And so I'm learning about fuzzes. I'm going more into it, but then of course you need to go to the source, which means Big Muff.
Right.
And I bought a Sur Badger 18, and I was like, you know what? I got a couple of bucks left. Give me a deal for Big Muff, and they gave it to me for cost because I just spent $2,000 on an amp. With cabinet, 2,600 right now. Yay!
A lot.
18 watt, one channel, 112. Okay, so holy crap, it's a nice amp. But so they gave it to me, and it's the big ass version, the original size, with the different kind of little plug, the little mini, whatever. The power isn't the normal 9 volt power in.
Oh.
It's like the little headphone jack. If you have the original one,
right. I know what you mean.
And,
the pin. It's a pin.
It's a pin.
Right.
It's a
like
new
all the
one.
old DODs have.
It's a new one, but it looks and it's made like the old one. I asked, is there a difference between this one and the smaller one? They say, well, the components are spaced differently. Might have an. So I took it home and I made a video called "Discovering the Big Muff." There's no point in making a demo because there's a billion out there. So I'm there as a naive fuzz newbie, discovering it and saying, this is what Santana used very clearly. This is what you use when you want to go,
right.
And compared it with a couple of other fuzzes I have. But that's as far as it goes to actually dealing with a classic pedal or an actual vintage pedal. I really have no access to.
I mean, I'm like doing pedals that I think haven't been surpassed by any clones or anything. So like I did like the 88 flanger. I still don't think anybody's made a better flanger than the 88.
Okay.
No digital one sounds as good. It's just massive flanger. Micro synth, but the old ones. See, I really don't like electroharmonic stuff.
We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, I think their quality control sucks, and so I have all their old stuff. So, and I've AB'd my micro synths. Like I have 70s and 80s micro synths that I've AB'd with their new one. It's not even the same pedal. I don't know what this thing is that they're making now, but it has nothing to do with synthesizer sounds, or it just sounds awful.
I talked with the guys at the store about this, and I said I've got 2 electroharmonics pedals. It's like a little delay that I just got to play in the living room, and I got the small clones mini the chorus. I said it's not a chorus, it's a room. It's like a reverb. When you push it, it's kind of reverby, roomy, chorusy, but I don't want that. And I said, you know what? You need to be into them, so I don't want to bitch about electroharmonics, but they said they're supposed to sound bad. They said that's if you're into electroharmonics, it's not the hi-fi sound. It's not the
never has
get your guitar through and it's all still pristine and nice. It's like it breaks your sound, and that's kind of, but that's their thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the old stuff, I really like the way they did that, but the new stuff, like it just breaks. Their stuff breaks. I have the sitar, the Radish sitar. It's gone down to me twice. They fixed it twice. They said, oh, we must have made it for the wrong voltage. It's it's a 9-volt pedal, but they said, oh, we should have made it for 12 volts or something. I'm like,
that's not cool.
And then
Shit shouldn't break.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pog's a really good one, but again, it goes down. I mean, I've had a lot of the digital companies, man. They go down because they don't have all the power stuff worked out right. Because the one thing digital pedals demand is they demand consistent current.
Absolutely.
And if they don't get it, they hate it and they freak out. Nothing's. One of my favorite pedals of all time is the DL4, the Line 6.
I had one of those.
Love that pedal. Love it for sampling. Love it for the delays. I think it sounds great. But that thing in Europe has always let me down. So I only use it with batteries.
Really?
Yeah, always goes. You go to Europe and you're just like, God, here we go. Just all the 4 red lights go on, and you're just like, oh, great. My Line 6 just went down. No more sampling. And then I just started putting batteries in them, and I was like, screw power.
Last question, talking about power, because I'm dealing with a couple of different companies and not favoring one over the other. There's one from Poland called Yankee. Hey, Mikhail. Yankee, big ass red things. They have the most power of any power supply on the market. Their big one called the HSM24. 60 pedals and going. Not a problem. 2,000 milliamps on 4 outputs. AC, DC, doesn't matter. Switchable.
230, 110?
Anything you want.
That's what I'm
That thing will power anything. It will power the biggest board. On the in Frankfurt, they had 2 pedal train Grandes filled to the brim with the pedals on the market that suck power. Moog pedals, Eventides, Strymons, and everything that eats AC, DC, whatever. They had one of those under the board for 2 pedal train Grandes. Powered it without a problem. I tried to get. I have a.
Is it heavy?
No. Fits under a pedal train.
So is it that digital? Because like MXR makes a great.
No,
one
it's not. No, it's
It's like the Voodoo Labs one.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but it fits on a pedal train. It's I have a prototype. I tried to get it down. I tried to overheat it. I put blankets on it when I had it on the full load. Everything. No. But now I just started working with CIOX, which I just found out this morning. CIOKS. Really high and very cool. They actually made the only power supply that fits under those flat pedal train boards. If you have a Nano or a Metro, it fits underneath. 3 times 100 milliamp, 2 times 300. So it's got serious power and it fits under the smallest board. Very cool. I'm saying this wrong because I was just informed on my YouTube channel this morning how to say it. It's spelled CIOKS. But apparently,
I think I've seen it.
Apparently you say, wait, chocks. No chocks. Yeah. But who would ever say that when you say Seahawks? When you see
Right.
it's weird. But they make very cool stuff. What's your go-to power supply?
Right now, I'm using the MXR brick because it's so light.
Little thing, right?
So, no,
the bigger
the
one.
newest, the new ISO brick. Daryl might have one here, but it's it's like this big and tons of power, and it's super light. And then they give you the AC adapter that you can swap out for Euro, or
okay.
you can swap out for UK, US, whatever. So it's awesome, and it's I like that it's light because flying in your pedal board.
Every power company, they have their pros and cons. Like Yankee, power. I mean, a lot of power. Shocks, or as I can say, Seahawks, very flat. The connectors are all RCA. On the power supply, it's RCA, so it's a very solid connection.
Right.
And you could even, they have a bridging cable. So if you need 200 milliamps, 150, you use 200 milliamp outputs with this little cable going into one, and there you go.
Wow.
You can take, if you need 600, take two 300s, and you got 600 milliamps. So that's a very cool feature. Very cool feature. They have good stuff. A different approach than Yankee. I mean, they're obviously in competition, but they're doing things differently, and I think it's a cool idea.
I mean, that's the thing with this new Earthquaker board that they made me. Jamie was emailing with me, and I was sending him links to ones that I found because we wanted just one that just did the 110 230 switch. I go that way I don't have to.
You have to have that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like Voodoo Labs doesn't make one. I don't think they do. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I think they just started something like that, but a lot of them don't do it, and it's like you have to have that switch. You have to, because if you're touring, you know what I mean. You have to.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. We bored you about pedals, but hey, we had a blast.
Yes, always love talking about pedals.
And I got a new friend and someone that I can say, hey, I did this thing with Juan, Earthquaker people, so maybe now you want to send me stuff, Earthquaker.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about this most certainly on my channel. And check out his channel, pedalsandeffects.com, and lots of YouTube videos and it's like a blog. It's way cool. Very different approach than I have, so no competition whatsoever.
No.
And well, what else can I say? See you guys.
Cool.
Go home now. Go away.
Thank you, Warwick.
Thank you, Warwick, of course. Yeah, thank you, Warwick. Thank you, Warwick.